Guardian Air is a product we released earlier this year, which will help you extend visibility and protection into the wireless spectrum, the radio frequency spectrum around your operational network. So to show you a bit about how this works, let's start by flipping over to the Nozomi Networks webpage and take a look at what we have to say there, and then we'll do some demos on the product itself. So here we are on the front page of the Nozomi Networks website. So you click Platform and select Guardian Air. And you scroll down a bit. There's a lot of good information here, but if we scroll down a little bit, this is what I want to see. Let's just set that up right. Here we go. Once the Guardian Air sensor is installed into your network, it monitors frequencies in the range of 800 megahertz to nearly 6 gigahertz. And you're looking at a wide variety of different protocols in there. And that information, the Guardian Air device is connected directly to a Vantage instance, where we use asset intelligence, Vantage IQ, threat intelligence, and combine and merge that with information coming from the rest of your network, the wide side of your network, to give you that visibility that you've never otherwise had in these wireless ranges. So you could be looking at devices like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cell phone towers, drones, wireless cameras, wireless HART. There's so many different protocols. And scrolling a little further down the page, we get an idea of what's there. So there's a lot of things going on. Let's take a look at how it looks for real and show you a little demo. I'm looking here at the Vantage instance for the Nozomi Networks headquarters office in San Francisco. And at that location, we have a Guardian Air sensor, which is detecting all of the radio frequency spectrum in and around that location. So we can see here, looking at the protocols, we're seeing nearly 1,200 802.11 standard Wi-Fi networks. There's nearly 480 802.15.4, so that's sort of your IoT devices, Zigbee, wireless HART, possibly building management devices. We've got some LoRa, we've got some cell towers that we're picking up. We're looking at some open drone ID, we'll come back to that one later, and we've got some Bluetooth there. So let's take a little bit of a look around. Just to the right hand side, you can see a column labeled enabled, and it's showing that 1,700 networks are set to false, while only 5 are set to true, and that reflects further down in the screen there. The networks that are set to true are the networks that we're going to pay more attention to and collect asset data from and things like that. So this allows you to be selective about what you're paying attention to, what you're focusing in on in and around your area. If we jump across to the channels tab here, what we see is a tabular format or a table format of all of the networks that the Guardian Air device is detecting. We'll just sort that by frequency. And we've got from 729 megs, looks like there's a couple of cell towers down there, some 4G, right up to 5.8 gig roughly at the top there. So yeah, table format, you can see the noise, you can see the signal noise ratio, the signal strength. There's a lot of good information there. It allows you to kind of do a basic radio frequency audit in and around your area. Going across further to the spectrum tab, what we see here is a representation of where the activity is around the different radio frequency channels. So at the very left-hand side there, we've got 903 megahertz. On the right-hand side, we've got 5.8 gig. And you can see which channels are the most congested. This could be useful. This could be something that you monitor over time. And if you see this change, then it's something you start paying attention to. We can present the spectrum information in different ways as well. So we could look at, like we are here, channel count, or we could look at signal to noise ratio, we could look at signal strength, or we can look at average noise. Selecting any one of them just changes the way the graph's represented, and in this case we're looking at signal strength spread across the spectrum. Let's see whose networks are the loudest and whose are the quietest. Let's go back to the main wireless page and hone in on that Open Drone ID protocol. So we can just select the protocol here, and it could be any of them, but let's look at the drone one. Select the protocol and we'll select the network that it's being detected on. And in here it will tell us what channels this radio is looking at. So you can see here there's a couple of 2.4 gig and some 5 or nearly 6 gig. Wi-Fi channels going on here, and we've got 3 assets. So if we select the Assets tab, we'll find we've got some drones. So we're looking at 2 DJI drones, 1 Skydio drone. And this information has been captured through the Open Drone ID protocol that the drones are transmitting as they fly around. And we can drill inside this a little further. Looking at the name, RID, that's probably, I'm going to guess that's a unique ID to the drone itself. I don't know a lot about this protocol, but it's a starting point. We can see it's an IoT device. It's a drone from DJI. It's in the Mavic Mini or Air series. It has an overall risk of 6, and a little bit later in the episode, we'll look into how these risk scores work and how you can customize it depending on your needs. Wireless insights, we can see that it's a mobile device and it's being detected on the Guardian Air. And a bit further down, we have a properties panel, which gives us a little bit more information about the radio frequency or the wireless technology that the device is using and how we're detecting it. So you might wonder why would drones be important? If you're an airport, drones are probably pretty important. You don't want drones where they shouldn't be. If you're in electricity distribution, big outdoor switchyards, high voltage switchyards, there's pretty good reasons to not have drones there as well. And it could really any industry. It really depends on what you're doing, but there's lots of industries where having drones in the area could be dangerous to present a health and safety risk, perhaps, or dangerous to operations. So it's nice to be able to detect the drones as they come into the area and act upon it as soon as you possibly can. Let's look at some other ideas. So one of the benefits of Guardian Air being integrated into the Vantage infrastructure is we can query, we can do data analysis on the items and things that the Guardian Air can see. So we'll change over to queries here, and I'm going to paste in a query that looks for strong network signals that have appeared within the last 24 hours and sorts them in order of strength. So we run the query and I only get back 1 result. And this might seem a little underwhelming, but maybe it's not too. Maybe in my production environment, I've run this query every morning. This is part of a report, an automated report that comes through and says, hey, what's this new radio frequency source that's popped up in my environment within the last 24 hours that maybe I'm not expecting? I think this is kind of useful for detecting into potential interruptions or interference within your process environment. For this demonstration, on my workbench here, I've got a Hack5 Wi-Fi Pineapple, the older Tetra series. What we're going to do is set it up as a malicious or rogue Wi-Fi access point and do some deauthorizations and things like that and see what we can see within Guardian Air. So first off, looking at the Wi-Fi Pineapple network config here, I've got the management SSID is set as Lab Pineapple, and I've got the open SSID, the rogue SSID set as free customer Wi-Fi, because who wouldn't connect to that, right? Over in Vantage, if I search by Lab Pine, we can see the management SSID. Now, if you're actually using a Pineapple for a malicious intent, you probably wouldn't have this SSID broadcasting, but in the workshop or in the lab here, it's fine. And if we search for free customer, we see the free customer Wi-Fi as well. So the Guardian Air has detected the Wi-Fi Pineapple happily. Looking in here, we see we're running on 6 channels in the both the 2.4 and the 5 gig range there, and we've got no assets associated with this, so nothing's connected to our rogue access point yet. So let's enable the scanning and begin our recon and then do our deauth attacks. So again, back on the Pineapple, recon, we'll hit both networks and we'll let it run for about 2 minutes. We'll be back shortly. Okay, so our scan has finished, and you can see there's a lot of results here, and we've hidden the SSID names for most of them there, just for privacy. And as I move down through the list here, we've got the Lab Pineapple Management SSID is here. and also so are my home networks. Now I'm not going to. No one's fallen for my scam and connected to my free customer Wi-Fi. Curses. What I'm going to do is perform deauth attacks against my my own Wi-Fi network here. So we'll go in and set an aggressive deauth, and I'll do half a dozen, 5, 6, 7 of these, one after the other, just to make sure we get a really good effect, and then we'll take a look at what happens from there. Back shortly. Okay, so we've finished off with our deauth attacks from the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and I've switched back to Vantage here, and there's two things going on that I want to show you, but the first one relating to this is the deauth attacks that are being detected here. And we'll just enable live because we should start picking up more of them as they come through. We can see that we've picked up the deauth attacks. It's been pretty quick. It's only been a matter of less than 2-3 minutes, and we're seeing all of the deauth attacks come through. Now, the other one that's interesting here is the rogue cell tower detected. It's not related to the Wi-Fi Pineapple at all, but the rogue cell tower is saying that under a certain operator, which we've got that name blanked out, LTE 4G tower, something's a little hinky here. Something's not right. So let's look inside one of these alerts. And what we can see is that the cell tower is now transmitting at a far stronger signal than it has been observed before. So that could mean, I don't know, it could mean a number of things. It could be a cell booster in range. It could be that the operator has boosted the output signal of the tower. There's a lot of reasons why this might happen, but in your environment, monitoring this type of activity, especially if you know where your cell towers are and what's going on, again, this could indicate something malicious, or even potentially something which could cause an interruption starting to happen in your environment. And this is Guardian Air provides a good way to stay ahead of that. One last little fun demo for you. Everybody loves one of these. If you get a sneaky employee who brings one into the office maybe and starts to, I don't know, try to create mayhem or just have a play around, Guardian Air will pick it up. We're detecting it on the Bluetooth radio, and this particular flipper's name is Quagton. I don't know where they get the names for these things from, but there it is, Flipper Quagton, and it's come up on our Guardian Air sensor on the Bluetooth protocol. How about them apples?